Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another Manchester United news update live show on this channel. We've got lots and lots to talk about, especially surrounding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the management and the coaching at Manchester United. Now, will Ole be sacked or will he not be sacked? We'll be discussing that. It's been a little bit quiet today. Nothing's massively coming out about Ole being sacked. However, they've got a whole 2 weeks of international break to get the sacking done. But reports have come out of actually Brendan Rodgers to Manchester United. And, we got told a couple of weeks ago Brendan Rodgers was our first choice. So the reports and the rumours saying that we are discussing getting Brendan Rodgers in, I'd say somewhat, it somewhat makes sense because, we do like Brendan Rodgers and United see Brendan Rodgers as their ideal guy. And that's what we got told the other week. And that is the only news really coming out at the moment. It's a little bit stale, and that's about Brendan Rodgers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the news. I'm going to give you the latest on Ole. I'm going to give you the latest on Brendan Rodgers, Ten Hag, Zidane, give you everything that's been said, give you my opinion on it, give you my thoughts on does Ole need to be sacked? Well, that's enough. The answer to that question is yes, and all that. So make sure you smash a like on the video if you have not already. Do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're not subscribed to the channel. Do share this video. Give me your thoughts in the live chat as well. But first of all, I just want to say Ole has done more than 20 sackable offences at Manchester United. Arsenal got 0 points in their first 3 games, and they are comfortably above us in the league, playing better football with a worse squad, with a manager that doesn't have any experience, comfortably above us and look flying. Look at our squad. We're meant to be in a title race this season. Manchester United are meant to be in a title race this season, and no. We are, 10 points off top? We look absolutely atrocious. We look like we might not get top 4. And our owners still have not taken action, despite Newcastle, Villa, Norwich, and Spurs, all taking action before them. What an absolute disgrace. I'm seeing you guys in the chats, and Noel Kane says it's 2-1 West Ham. I can't even celebrate 2-1 West Ham, because that means West Ham will be 6 points clear of us in 4th. Normally I'd be celebrating West Ham going 2-1 up against Liverpool, but now I'm hoping West Ham drop points because I'm desperate for us to get that 4th spot. This is our squad: Ronaldo, Cavani, Varane, Sancho, Rashford, Bruno, Pogba, and we're trying to hope West Ham lose so we can get 4th. I mean, what has our club come to, guys? What has our club come to? I can't. I couldn't even watch the game today. I was just like, I don't want to watch Liverpool or West Ham win, because if West Ham win, we're 6 points behind 4th. If Liverpool win, then it's Liverpool winning. And I was just like, it's going to make me too depressed. So I'm going to hope for a draw. But normally I'd be aiming for a Liverpool loss. But that has what we sink to. But let me get into the news and all of that as well. So smash a like, smash a subscribe. And I just want to say this. I want to say this first of all. Managers have been sacked for a lot less. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done multiple things to be sacked, and the fact that he's not been sacked is actually making the board look like idiots. Now, Woodward and Woodward and co, Woodward, the board, United, they don't want to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because they don't want to embarrass themselves. They don't want to be sacking another manager. It's all for Woodward's ego. But actually, if Woodward actually thinks about it, people are laughing at Manchester United for keeping Ole. If the board actually go and sack another manager, people will actually be like, okay, they're acting on it. People are laughing at Manchester United, the board, and all of that for keeping Ole in the job, which, do you know what I mean? Absolutely disgraceful. And this is what I wanted to say. Did you know in the last 6 games, Norwich City have picked up more points than Manchester United in the Premier League? In the last 6 Premier League games, Norwich City have picked up more points than us, Manchester United. Norwich City have picked up 5 points in the last 6 games, where Manchester United have picked up 4 points in the last 6 games. And guess whose manager sacked? Norwich City. Relegation contenders. Norwich City have more ambition than us. They've sacked their manager who got them 5 points in the last 6 games, whereas Manchester United, who are meant to be title contenders, will not sack a manager that's got 4 points out of a possible 18. If the Norwich manager is getting sacked for getting 5 points in his last 6 games and they're trying to avoid relegation and we're meant to be title contenders, how can you not sack a manager that's got 4 points in his last 6 games? It's absolutely criminal. We are 6 points off top 4. We have to be another 4 points off top 4 for the Glazers to actually worry. The Glazers surely going to look at the Premier League table and go, okay, we're 6 points off top 4. And maybe they'll sack Ole because they care about top 4. So maybe if West Ham win today, it's a good thing, them being 6 points clear of us in the race for top 4, because the Glazers will look at that, go, oh my God, we might not get top 4, and sack Ole. Now, there are rumours of Ole being sacked. It's still very, very quiet. We got told that, Ollie's got 3 games to save his job. We got told after the 5-0 loss to Liverpool that Ollie was staying, but he's got 3 games to save his job. Okay, so Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has 3 games to save his job. Atalanta we drew, but it was absolutely atrocious. And Manchester City were completely outplayed and we should have lost 5-0. So he's played in those 3 games, he's played 2 of them absolutely atrociously. So surely he can't save his job with those 3 games. Surely. Now, Manchester United's reasoning for not sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after the Liverpool 5-0 defeat is they didn't feel like there was an elite world-class manager out there, even though Antonio Conte was literally begging for the job. Manchester United are now saying they don't know if they're going to sack Ole international break because they don't know if the right option's out there. That's the story coming out, guys. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Absolutely baffles me. He can't be in a job after that City game. He shouldn't have been in the job after that Liverpool game. And the football we're playing is just horrific. Anyway, even if we were getting the results, I'd be pretty much like, oh my God, I can't watch this anymore. It's absolutely horrific. And I do want to talk about Brendan Rodgers because we are 6 minutes into the video and the title is about Brendan Rodgers agreeing a deal with Manchester United. I do want to get into actually what the video is about, what's the news coming out of Brendan Rodgers and all of that. Let me know down below, by the way, guys, what are your thoughts on Brendan Rodgers? Would you take Brendan Rodgers at Manchester United or not? I can see a lot of people getting mixed reviews. Niall Keynes just said, Alice saw an article from the Express saying Ten Hag's stance on leaving Ajax for Man United is Ollie's sacking considered. What are your thoughts? I have not seen the article, but I take Ten Hag. People saying Ragnick, not Rodgers. I will give you the latest on Ragnick and I'll give you the latest on Brendan Rodgers. West Ham leading 2-1, and Gary Neville is keeping on the job with his big mouth, says Gad. Look, Gary Neville's making a bit of a cock of himself at the moment. He really is. I know I've always thought he was a bit of a shit pundit, to be fair, but even Carragher's embarrassing him. And as Diego says, unbelievable. Norwich City have picked up more points in the last 6 games than Manchester United, and even their manager goes. So smash a like on the video, by the way, if you are already out, and do subscribe to the channel and all of that. Brendan is another yes manager. Look, I'm at the point where what we're seeing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is horrific. I don't think any manager could come to Manchester United right now and do a worse job than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What we're seeing is absolutely horrific. The football we're seeing is absolutely horrific. And I'm at the point where, is Brendan Rodgers my first choice? No. Is Brendan Rodgers in my top 5? No. But would I take Brendan Rodgers? Yes. Why? Because he's going to be a significant improvement on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I can't physically watch Manchester United play anymore because the football we're playing is so horrifically bad that I'm at the point where I would take a snail as our manager. That's how bad it is. So I'm not going to lose my shit if we get Brendan Rodgers. I'm just going to be like, thank fuck the Ollie year is over because it's absolutely killing me inside. I can't physically watch it anymore, guys. I can't physically watch it. What has been said about Brendan Rodgers to Manchester United, because that's probably why you guys have joined. Now, Caught Offside, a source called Caught Offside, got a fair few followers on Twitter, said that Brendan Rodgers has verbally agreed to become the Manchester United new manager. He would like to wait until the end of the season, but United are pushing for him now. So the source Caught Offside says Brendan Rodgers has verbally agreed to become Manchester United's new manager, but he wants to wait to the end of the season. Apparently, United are pushing Leicester and Brendan Rodgers for a deal now. So a few reports coming out saying that basically United want Brendan Rodgers. We're in talks for him. He's agreed to join us, but he's saying he wants to come at the end of the season. And we're pushing Leicester. We're pushing Brendan Rodgers for him to try and join out and see if we can get Brendan Rodgers to join now. That's the news that's coming out. Now, it's come from a source called Caught Offside. Could they be going for clicks? It is 3-1 West Ham. I can see you guys in the chat. At least Liverpool like losing. At least Liverpool are losing. But sources saying, as I said earlier, a lot of sources sort of talking about Brendan Rodgers to United. Deals done behind the scenes, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Now, if you want my honest opinion on this, look, I think the source Caught Offside that's saying that Brendan Rodgers agrees to join Manchester United isn't the most reliable source. I think they could be doing it for clicks, for follows, for all of that. I do have to say that on the situation. Apparently, he's agreed to join us, but at the end of the season, but we're pushing for him now. I think there's some truth in the story, but it's not come from a source that I'm like, boom, we're actually doing something. It's likely to come from a source that could potentially be looking for clicks. Now, what's really intriguing about this is, again, another journalist called Rudy Galatetti said, confirmed Brendan Rodgers has reached an agreement in principle with Manchester United. However, the Leicester manager would like to wait to the end of the season to sit on a Manchester United bench. He says that the Red Devils are pushing now, but Leicester at now disagree. And Manchester United, because obviously he's contract at Leicester, apparently Manchester United are in talks for Leicester to get Brendan Rodgers as our manager. Now, last week an article came out saying that Brendan Rodgers is our ideal first choice manager, and we didn't sack Ole because we don't want Conte. We'd rather get a manager in like Brendan Rodgers or Pochettino. Now, that makes sense. I believe the stories that say Brendan Rodgers is our first choice manager, and I believe that we probably are inquiring about Brendan Rodgers if we're going to sack Ole, because I think surely the Glazers, the board, have to be thinking about other managers. They might not sack Ole until they've got another manager, but surely they've got to be thinking about another manager. And why I believe that we are probably in for Brendan Rodgers is Brendan Rodgers, just like Pochettino, has done a good job in the Premier League on a small budget. Manchester United want a manager like Sir Alex Ferguson. Manchester United want a manager that's going to come in and they're not going to have to spend loads of money on, and they're going to get the best out of the squad. Now, Brendan Rodgers has done that at Leicester. He's not spent loads and loads of money. He has been backed, but he's not had horrific amounts of money, and he's doing very well with that squad. And I think that's why Manchester United like Brendan Rodgers, and that's why Manchester United want Brendan Rodgers, because the Glazers see Brendan Rodgers and Pochettino as two managers that have done a decent job with their sides in the Premier League off a small budget. And I think that's why we didn't want Conte, because if we get Conte in, you're going to have to back him in January, you're going to have to back him in the summer. He's going to demand more from the board, the owners, the club, the coaches. Brendan Rodgers is going to come on. He is going to be a bit of a yes man, like you said. And he's definitely, you know, you can get away with not backing him too much, and he will get the best out of the squad. Now, I will take Brendan Rodgers. I know he's ex-Liverpool. If you'd asked me at the beginning of the season, would I take Brendan Rodgers, I'd just be like, no. But right now, I will take a snail as Manchester United manager. I will take anything as Manchester United manager. I cannot be bothered with Ole anymore. It's not good enough. It's painful to watch. It's horrific. That I generally think, you know what, Brendan Rodgers, he won an FA Cup. He's won a trophy, something Ole hasn't done. Okay, yes, he's bottled top four twice, but that Leicester side was overachieving. That Leicester side spent most of the season above the Manchester United side in the last 2 years, and we had a better squad than them. I solely believe if Brendan Rodgers comes in, he will be a massive improvement on Gunnar Solskjaer. The only problem is Brendan Rodgers the type of manager to come in and sack McKenna, Phelan, Carrick? Because I don't think Ole's just the problem. McKenna, Phelan, and Carrick obviously aren't good enough. And the fact that sources have come out saying that Manchester United are complaining about players on the training ground, and the Manchester United players are complaining about the coaches on the training ground, pretty much shows that the coaches need to go. We don't just need to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm sorry, McKenna and Michael Carrick and Phelan, they all need to be sacked as well, because the elite players are concerned that the coaches are not at the level to coach this level. The fact that sources have come out that the players do not trust the coaches. How can you expect Manchester United to win trophies this season if our own players don't think the coaches is good enough to coach them? They don't believe in the coaches. How are you going to employ anything you learn on the training ground onto the pitch if our own players don't believe in the coaching? I listen to it and I'm like, what is wrong with this club? Seriously, what is wrong with this club? And if we get Brendan Rodgers, I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to be angry. Yes, Brendan Rodgers is ex-Liverpool, but if we get Brendan Rodgers, it's a significant improvement on Ole. He's not in my top 5 choices. I would love Ten Hag. I would have preferred Zidane. I would have preferred Conte. But we're at the point now that Manchester United have hit rock bottom as a football club. It couldn't be any. I've never felt so low as a Man United fan, because even under Moyes, when we weren't getting results, at least the football we were playing weren't this bad. The football we played against Manchester City, guys, was absolutely atrocious. It's the worst football I've ever seen in my life. The fact that we had more shots against our own keeper, David De Gea, than we did against the opposition's keeper. The fact that we went 90 minutes, we couldn't get possession, and we only had 4 touches in their box. The fact that we're absolutely outplayed. The fact that it's just enough. Like, I've just seen enough, and he needs to go. I will take anything as manager. And according to Rudy Galletti, Brendan Rodgers has reached an agreement in principle with Manchester United. However, nothing's been confirmed because he wants to join at the end of the season, but Manchester United wants it now. If there's any updates on Brendan Rodgers, Zidane, Ten Hag, and all of that, guys, I will be live to let you know. So if you are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football for daily Manchester United content on the channel, because I will be giving you all the latest on Ten Hag, Zidane, Conte, all of that. So make sure you subscribe for that, by the way, guys, because obviously I can't give you the latest on Conte, he's at Spurs, but Ten Hag, Zidane, what's his name, Ralph Rangnick, and Brendan Rodgers to Manchester United. I will be giving you the latest on that, and if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sack, I will be live to update you on that. Everyone that is Ole out, smash that like button. If you're watching right now and you're Ole out, smash that like button. And West Ham are beating Liverpool 3-1. And Andrew says, we have numerous of stars of the 30 getting into late 20s. This is short-term quality squad that needs to win now. Rodgers is treading water while our squad leaves or ages out. Exactly. We need a manager that's going to come in, and we need a Tuchel that's going to come in and win us the Champions League, because we're looking at a rebuild next summer. Like, this is the best squad we've had in 10 years, but we're generally looking at the rebuild next summer. And I don't like to say that in like a negative way, but what I mean is, look at us, okay? Okay, watch this. Donny van de Beek's going to leave if Ollie stays. Paul Pogba's leaving. That means we've lost 2 midfielders, so we're left with McFred as our only midfield options because Matic is retiring. Jesse Lingard's going to leave. Anthony Martial's going to leave. Edison Cavani's going to retire. And Cristiano Ronaldo, if we're not in the top 4, he's going to leave. So we need to look at replacing. We were losing 3 strikers in Martial, Cavani, and Ronaldo. We need to look at getting at least 1 elite striker in. But we're also losing Pogba, Matic, and Donny. So we need to be looking at getting at least 2 creative midfielders in and at least 1 CDM in. That's 4 players in a transfer window. When has Manchester United ever gone and got 4 decent players in a transfer window? Never. We could get 1, maybe 2, but we wouldn't get all 4 targets that we need. And this is the problem with Manchester United. We seem to ignore the fact that this squad is, oh, this is a brilliant squad, but if we're going to win something, this is the season to win it. And the longer and longer we leave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the helm, the less and less chance we have of winning something. Now, look, at the end of the day, the only big trophy we have a chance of winning is the Champions League, and I don't think we're going to win that. The Premier League is over. The Carabao Cup is over. I don't care about an FA Cup. I'd rather finish in the top 4. We need to go and win a trophy, and we need to go win that Champions League. Now, do I believe we're going to win the Champions League? No, but we have Ronaldo, we have Varane, we have the players to win a Champions League. And if you get an elite manager in, you could do what Tuchel did with Chelsea. You can go and win the Champions League, and that's what I want us to go and do. Now, will we do that? I don't know. There's reports about Brendan Rodgers. There's reports about Man United talks to Brendan Rodgers. I get the impression we're not going to sack Ole until we've got a manager we want lined up. I guarantee you we won't sack Ole until the manager we want has spoke to Man United and said they'll take the job. And I believe that we are in talks for Brendan Rodgers, because I believe we want Brendan Rodgers, because as I said earlier, Brendan Rodgers is a manager that the Glazers will like because he can do a good job on not a massive budget. That's what the Glazers want. I believe the reports that we are in talks with Brendan Rodgers, and maybe Brendan Rodgers has made an agreement with Manchester United, but I think they're just saying that for clicks. I believe those reports. But what I do not believe is that Manchester United will sack Ole like that. They want to find someone before they sack Ole. And I'm at the point where you've got some guy called Ralph Rangnick telling people he'll take the United job. I have no fucking idea who he is, but I say get him in. You know, I'm saying get him in, even though I don't know who he is or what he does or what he's going to do. Because that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's made me become. He's made me become a fan that's gone, you know what, get him in, get him in, get him in. I don't care. I don't care. Get him in. Get him in. As long as it's not Ole. If you're a snail, you're a crocodile, go manage Man United. That's how I feel. 3-2 now through Origi. I feel like is that game not over yet? Hopefully Liverpool don't get any points. I mean, I feel a little bit better if Liverpool lose. And Paul says if Rodgers does come, we definitely would play a style of play, and I'd bring in Ndidi. Look, I tell you one thing. If Rodgers comes and that means we can inject Wilfred and Ndidi, then bloody hell, I take Rodgers in a heartbeat. But do I think we're going to get Wilfred and Ndidi? Unfortunately, no. Would I love Ndidi? Yes. Ndidi, Pogba, Bruno, if they would be brilliant. But unfortunately, Pogba's leaving, and if Ole stays, Donny could be leaving as early as January. Now, I have to tell you one thing. I think a lot of you guys probably agree with me in this, but didn't you enjoy the fact that all the fans were going, Donny van der Beek, Donny van der Beek? I mean, Solskjaer must be sitting there, and I'm surely if you're really on a Solskjaer, you must be thinking, I've got to resign. They ain't chanting for me. As soon as Fred gets subbed off, you get the loudest cheer in Old Trafford. As soon as Donny comes on, you get the loudest cheer in Old Trafford. The fans support Donny van der Beek more than they support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now. And this man is still Manchester United manager. This man is still being employed by our club. It's absolutely criminal. Absolutely criminal, by the way, guys. And smash a like on the video if you're watching right now and you're Ole out. If you're watching this video and you've had enough of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you want Ole out of the club, you want him to be sacked, smash that like button. Because as I said earlier, okay, the 4 teams that have picked up the least points in the last 6 games. Listen to this, guys. Listen. The 4 teams that have picked out the least amount of Premier League points in the last 6 games. Manchester United, Norwich City, Aston Villa, and Newcastle United. Newcastle United sacked their manager. Aston Villa sacked their manager. Norwich City sacked their manager. Manchester United still have their manager. Man United, Norwich, Newcastle, and Aston Villa. 3 of them are in a relegation battle, and the 3 that are in a relegation battle, despite being in the same form as title contenders, have sacked their manager. We are title contenders. We are in the same form as those in the relegation battle, but even those in a relegation battle have more ambition and have sacked their manager. Norwich City have picked up more points than Manchester United in their last 6 games, and they sacked their manager. We are 6 points of top 4 after 11 games, playing absolutely horrific. The players, the staff, the dressing room is gone. The fans have lost, don't have any hope anymore. This is the squad that needs to win something now, because Ronaldo's only here for 2 years. Cavani's only here for a year. Pogba's only here for a year. We're looking at a rebuild next summer, and we are just crashing and burning down because, unfortunately, the people higher up in this club, the people that make the decisions higher up in this club, don't know anything about football. They don't know anything at all about football, because if they did, this manager would have been sacked after the Everton game. This manager would have been sacked over a month ago. This manager would have been sacked way before the Liverpool game. He would have been sacked at least a month ago if these owners knew anything about football, but they don't, and they're absolutely embarrassing themselves, sticking with Ollie. They're sticking with Ollie because they don't want to spend that money on a new manager, spending that money to pay Ollie out. They're sticking with Ollie because they know if they sack another manager, people are going to be like, that's the 4th manager they've had in. But no, you're actually embarrassing yourself sticking with Ollie. Everyone is laughing at us. Arsenal fans are laughing at us. Arsenal had 0 points after 3 games. They're now absolutely laughing at us. It's absolutely abysmal. The football we're playing is absolutely atrocious. That performance versus Manchester City was sackable. 4 touches in the opposition's box. More shot on goal against our own keeper than their keeper. It was a sackable performance, and I'm absolutely infuriated that the board has not acted on it. Shane says that the Glazers don't have a plan B. The Glazers just think, oh, is it going to affect my money? I'll take action. The Glazers' plan is it going to affect how much money we make? No, let's not do anything. Is it going to affect how much money we make? Yes, let's do something. The Glazers will only do something if it looks like it's going to affect their money. And with West Ham beating Liverpool, the Glazers might look at the Premier League table and go, ah, shit, look at Liverpool. Okay. Not Liverpool. With West Ham's when they win, they might go, ah, shit, West Ham 6 points ahead of us. And that's when the Glazers will act. The Glazers will only act if it doesn't look like we're going to get top 4. And we've got a team that should be in a title race. They should have been acting as soon as we've gone out of that title race. But no, they're going to wait until we don't even look like we're going to get top 4 to act. And that's an absolute disgrace. Conte was asking for the Manchester United job. A world-class elite winner. We need short-termism. Long-termism is gone in football. Look at Chelsea. That's short-term. New managers all the time winning stuff. Long-term, gone in football. It's short-termism. Conte, come in, win a trophy. I'd rather win a trophy next season than wait another 10 years to win a bloody trophy. I've had enough. I've had enough of what I've seen. Absolutely disgraceful for Manchester United. Guys, please do smash a like on the video if you were Ollie out. And if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football down below. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. You know, there could be some updates on Liga social shoots tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday. I think if Ollie is going to be sacked, the news articles will start to flood out tomorrow if Ollie is going to be sacked. So make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, because I'm sure if Ollie is going to be sacked, news will be released tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe for that. But everyone that is watching right now and wants Ollie gone, smash a like on the video. If you're Ollie out, smash that like button, because I've just can't watch anymore. Ragnick is Klopp's and Tuchel's teacher. Look, I would take Ragnick. I don't know much about him, but I'd absolutely take him. We've had enough of Ollie. I've had absolutely enough of Ollie that I would absolutely take Ragnick. And the owners want this club to turn into business and bank. We are the new Banter FC. Arsenal above us and getting top 4. I don't think Arsenal will get top 4. I think they will bottle it. I don't think they'll squad for it. But the fact that Arsenal are above us, it should be a sackable offence. The fact that Arsenal above us should be a sackable offence. Will I take Potter? Look, I'd take him to the end of the season, but not long term. Again, he's a manager that hasn't proved himself at the elite level, and we don't want Rodgers. Let me know down below, guys. Would you want Brendan Rodgers or not? Because look, a lot of people do want Brendan Rodgers. A lot of people don't want Brendan Rodgers. I'm a little bit mixed on it. I'm at the point where I'll take bloody anyone at this rate. That's how I feel. So that's my situation. But let me know down below. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys and show you the news. But smash a like on the video. Subscribe down below if you're not. And share this video. If you want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked, keep hitting the likes. Let's go for 300 likes by the end of the live stream, guys. But this is obviously the news that Brendan Rodgers has reached an agreement and principle with Man United. However, the Leicester manager would like to wait to the end of the season. Now, this isn't the most reliable journalist in the world, so do take it with a pinch of salt and all of that. And the Glazers only care about money going in their pockets while people are buying tickets and going to the games, and buying kits not going to change that. People saying no way to Rodgers, no way to Rodgers. Look, Rodgers is ex-Liverpool. He's not the main man, but I would take him over Ollie. 100% would take him over Ollie. I've seen enough of Ollie, and it's not good enough that I would take Rodgers at this point. And I don't like saying that because he's obviously ex-Liverpool, but that's how I feel. Now, I do want to talk about a few things, but what I think is absolutely infuriating is Jose Mourinho and Louis van Gaal got sacked for less. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in worse form and is playing worse football than we did under Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and David Moyes when they got sacked. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been worse than David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho, and hasn't won a trophy. At least Jose and Van Gaal won a trophy. Jose didn't even get backed in his last season. Jose got sacked off losing 3-1 to Liverpool when he didn't get backed. He just won the Europa League with Manchester United. He had a better CV and he was in better form. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't been sacked despite being in worse form than Jose Mourinho when he was sacked, not winning a trophy with Manchester United, in fact, just bottling finals and just playing disgraceful football. We're playing worse football, picking up less points, and we've not won a trophy under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yet he's not been sacked because there's people out there like Gary Neville saying, what's sacking Ole going to do? What's sacking Ole going to do? I don't think the board should sack Ole. Gary Neville, you are a Manchester United pundit and you've got a voice. If you've got a voice, you've got to be representing at least what fans think and being honest. Gary Neville, you've got a voice and you're just using it to defend your mate. You know, that's the thing. There's a lot of fans out there with very different opinions to you that will never get the chance that you get to express their opinion. And unfortunately, because Gary Neville has a voice with the Glazers and co, they will listen to him. They will absolutely listen to him because he's got a voice. And if you've got a voice like Gary Neville has, you've got to be straight up. You can't let favouritism, agendas, bias and friendship get in your way. He's paid to do his job. He's paid to be a pundit, but he's letting friendships and biases get in his way of his job. And that's not very professional from him. And look, the Glazers will listen to Gary saying, don't sack Ole. You're not going to solve the problem by sacking Ole. But actually, Ole is the problem. Look, Ole's not the biggest problem at Manchester United. The biggest problem at Manchester United is the board, the owners, the Glazers. We all know that the board, the owners, the Glazers are a bigger problem than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. But a massive, massive problem at Manchester United is the coaching and the manager. The players have literally come out and publicly complained that they do not trust the coaching. They don't think the coaching is up to the standard of this club. They don't think the manager is up to the standard of this club. Reports are coming out, leaked from the dressing room, that Manchester United are questioning Ole's tactics. Players are actually confronting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about why he's playing the same underperforming players. Players are actually confronting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about why they're not getting a chance. Players are confronting his tactics. Players don't believe in Ole. The players aren't playing for Ole. And if you've got a team that does not believe in the manager, does not believe in the coaches, they're never going to turn it around, especially if you're as inexperienced as the people at Manchester United are. We're never going to turn it around. So you need to change. You need to get a new manager in. And that is the problem, because what we are right now is a disgrace. We are an absolute disgrace, and I've seen enough. It's absolutely atrocious, and they need to act, and they need to sack him now. Now, Brendan Rodgers is the only one we're actively talking to, but I want to wake up tomorrow and see that Manchester United are in a board meeting and Ole's been sacked. I want to wake up tomorrow and see that he's been sacked. And I don't mean to say that in a disrespectful way. I do like Ole. He's a nice guy. He's just not the man to manage Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reminds me a lot of Frank Lampard. He did a good job in taking us from point C to point B. He did a good job in getting the squad to finish second and getting the squad to finish third the year before. He did a good squad and building a good squad, but it needs to be taken over by an elite manager, because football is now short-termism and we need an elite manager to take over, and that elite manager can take over and win a trophy. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to win us the Champions League, but Antonio Conte could have come in and won us the Champions League. Ralph Rangnick will do better than Ole, even though I'm not that aware of who he is. Brendan Rodgers, again, isn't the main man, but we have more chance of getting in the top four under bottle job Brendan Rodgers than we do under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because West Ham are currently sitting 6 points clear of Manchester United in the race to top four. It's not good enough. It's the international break right now. Manchester United's two excuses for not sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after the Liverpool game was A, we want to wait till the international break so it's easy to make a decision, and B, there's no elite world-class managers around. That's a lie. Conte was around. Conte wanted the job. You didn't want to get Conte the job. Our excuse for not sacking Ole was because we didn't feel like anyone good enough was around. What an absolute load of rubbish. We could have given Conte the job. What an absolute load of rubbish from our club. But the second worst thing is that Manchester United actively said they'll wait till the international break to employ someone. Well, why haven't you sacked Ole? You know, we're in the international break now. You've got 2 weeks. Go sack him. And once you sack him, you can get whoever you want. Because I guarantee you, even if we get someone in after we sack Ole, it doesn't mean they have to be here till the end for 5 years' time. We just need someone that's going to come into the end of the season, and then we can go for Ten Hag, who could leave Ajax at the end of the season. Reports coming out that Eric Ten Hag will leave Ajax at the end of the season. Let's say we want Brendan Rodgers, cool. But if we can't get Brendan Rodgers, still sack Ole. Apparently, Manchester United are going to see if they can get Brendan Rodgers, and then if they can't get him, stick with Ole. Don't rely on Brendan Rodgers wanting to come to you to sack Ole. There is lots of managers that will take their Manchester United job, even if it's Ralph Rangnick. A lot of managers could do a short-term job better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, get us back in the top four, and then next season we can get the manager we want in Ten Hag. But we need a manager that's not going to fuck us over. What Chelsea did when they sacked Lampard was they only gave Tuchel a 1.5-year contract. He won them the Champions League, so they extended his contract. That's what we need to do. Get a temporary manager in, give him a year's contract, and wait till the summer, and then go get Ten Hag in the summer. That's 100% what I'll do. And unfortunately, our club is run by idiots. It is West Ham 3, Liverpool 2. Least Liverpool lose. That makes my day a little bit better. Smash a like on the video, by the way, guys, if you're already out. And smash a like on the video, by the way, if you're happy that Liverpool lost. I'm absolutely gassed that Liverpool lost because I do not like Liverpool. But I have to say this now. If OLE is still here by the end of the international break, we need to, I hate saying this, but we need to get another protest going. We need to get another protest going because they won't listen unless we protest. And we are accepting mediocrity at this club. This is not good enough from our manager. The fact that they sacked Mourinho for less, Van Gaal for less, Moyes for less, but they won't sack OLE because he's their puppet. OLE's protected by the media and Gary Neville. Gary Neville is protecting OLE and telling them not to sack OLE. OLE is so protected. And the thing that absolutely infuriates me is when I'm watching Sky Sports and all of that, they're going in on the players. They keep blaming individual players. I think we're at a point where, yes, the players haven't been brilliant. Maguire's been crap. Shaw's been crap. Tomilay's been crap. Fred's been crap. Yes, I think we're at a point where the players have not been that good for Manchester United at all. They haven't been great. But I think you're at a point where actually, if you look at the way we're playing, the teams we're playing, the squad we have, the way we set up, the tactics, you can look at it and go, actually, this is the way OLE set them up. What are these tactics? They don't make sense. Explain this. I think you can blame the players all you want, but when you're playing this poor for this long and all these different systems of all these different players that are going on international break, like Pogba and Fred, and getting man of the matches, then you've got to start questioning the coaches, the system. Are they playing for the coaches? Are they playing for the system? No, they're not. So the pundits need to actually start addressing the problem that is the manager. Yes, the players could perform better. Yes, Pogba's had some bad performances. We've lost 3 games without Pogba now. You can't blame Pogba. We haven't used Martial all season. Martial's not the problem. First Martial's the problem, then Pogba was the problem. They even tried to say Ronaldo was the problem. When are the pundits like Gary Neville actually going to come out and say, you know what, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the coaches is the problem? Okay, the biggest problem at Manchester United is the board, the Glazers and all of that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is hiring his friends. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United is he got it off having good connections with the club, and then he employed McKenna, and because he's his friend, Eric Ramsey's McKenna's friend, and Michael Carrick because he played for the club. That is like Manchester United saying, Alice, you're a massive fan of Man United, you can get the manager's job, and I go and employ 3 of my best mates that also support Man United to do the coaching job. Of course I'm not going to succeed. It's not just Ole, but it's the coaching. But it's the fact that our board, our owners, even allow that to happen, which I think is an absolute freaking disgrace. An absolute freaking disgrace. And if you agree, smash a like on the video. If you're Ole out, smash that like button. And by the way, guys, I do daily Manchester United content and updates on the channel, so please do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you are new to the channel, because I will be live probably tomorrow, because I think this time tomorrow I'll have an idea if Ole's going to get sacked in the break or not. So if you want to know all the latest on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future, Brendan Rodgers' future, Ten Hag's future, Zidane and all that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free to hit that like button and subscribe. But the news on Zidane, by the way, guys, is Zidane isn't that keen on joining Manchester United or the Premier League, so Zidane doesn't look super likely. The news on Ten Hag is that Ten Hag would look to leave Ajax at the end of the season and would be happy to take Manchester United or Barcelona, and that there's reports coming out that Ten Hag could potentially like to take the Manchester United job at the end of the year. We're not going to get Ten Hag in halfway through the season. As much as we like him, as much as we want him, Ten Hag's not going to come to the end of the year. But you can't keep with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to the end of the year. Why didn't you get that Ralf Rangnick guy in? Because although he might be a temporary manager, I'm sure he'll do a better job than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Get him into the end of the year, get Ten Hag. Because that's how proper clubs think. That's what Man City would be doing. They get a temporary manager in, and then they'll be getting who they want at the end of the season. Alice, 2 weeks break, buy a new dress other than blue, please. Maybe United can be on a winning streak. Maybe I need to start wearing red to get Man U on a winning streak. But thanks for the tuber hug. But we want Ten Hag, who will be available at the end of the season, but we can't wait till the end of the season, because at the end of the day, this is the best squad we've had in 10 years. All of our best players will leave if Ole plays. They are done. If we get Europa League, we're losing a lot of our key players, and we're looking at a rebuild. The potential of the squad we have right now is absolutely insane. So actually think about it. Imagine it. Imagine bringing an elite world-class manager in with this squad. We've seen the potential of this squad, because you know what? When we have played well, we've played freaking amazing. But I can't remember the last time we played well since the Leeds game. When the squad plays well, they can play amazing. 9-0 Southampton, 5-0 Leipzig. We've had some absolutely brilliant performances with this squad, but but they need to believe in the system. And I think the reason a lot of these players are underperforming is because, as said, these new names have come in and said, what is this training? Why am I being trained by Carrick that's only been doing this job for 3 years? I'm Cristiano Ronaldo. That is the problem at Manchester United. Carrick, Phelan and McKenna, who all have less than 3 years experience in, well, not Phelan, but Carrick and McKenna and Eric Ramsey, who all work on the training pitch, who have all less than 3 years of experience, are training someone like Ronaldo that's the most experienced player in the game. And Ronaldo's sitting there going, I don't trust this coaching staff. And whatever we're doing in training, it's so obvious we're not applying it to the pitch. Whatever Manchester United are doing in training, they're obviously not applying to the pitch. And why are they not applying it to the pitch? Because they don't believe in the coaches. So it's not just OLE that needs to go, it's the coaches that need to go as well. So if you agree with me, smash a like on the video. If you've just joined, by the way, guys, rumours and reports coming in that Brendan Rodgers is ready to accept a deal with Manchester United in principle, however, would rather join at the end of the season. Just like Ten Hag would not join Manchester United now, but reportedly would be open to it to the end of the season. And a lot of managers seem to be more open to join Manchester United at the end of the season rather than now. And Manchester United's reasoning for staying with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and not sacking him yet is because all their targets don't want to join to the end of the season. However, Antonio Conte literally said he would take the job now, and we let him go to Spurs. Our owners, our board, let Antonio Conte go to Spurs, despite him coming out saying he'd take the job now. So this excuse that no one wants the job now from Manchester United, it's just a PR, it's just a spin, it's just to get us off their back for the fact that they haven't sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because you know what? There are managers available now. Ralph Rangnick has come out and said he'll take the job to the end of the season. And you know what? I don't know much about him, but do you think he's going to do a worse job than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now? No. We need a new manager, we need new coaches, but most importantly, we need new owners. And if you agree with me, smash that like button if you want Glazers out, smash that like button if you want a new manager, and smash that like button if you just get to feel a little bit better now Liverpool lost. But look, I'm at the point, and a lot of you guys don't want Brendan Rodgers, and a lot of people are angry about Brendan Rodgers. But I'm going to ask you this now. Brendan Rodgers or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Brendan Rodgers or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I'm taking Brendan Rodgers. Is Brendan Rodgers my first choice? No. Is Brendan Rodgers in my top 5? No. But will I take Brendan Rodgers at Manchester United? Yes, right now I would, because I physically don't think I can watch us play Watford if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Manchester United manager, because that performance versus Manchester City felt like being buried alive. It generally felt like I was being buried alive watching us play against Manchester City. It was slow, it was painful, we were helpless, it was a training session for them. It was literally like you're seeing someone dying and you can't do anything to help them. The feeling of watching us play Manchester City yesterday, I literally felt like someone was dying in front of me and I couldn't even do anything to stop them or help them. That's how I felt, because that is how depressing that performance versus Manchester City absolutely made me. And if he does not get sacked off the back of that performance, when's he ever going to get sacked? The fact that he didn't get sacked off 5-0 to Liverpool was a disgrace. He had 3 games to save his job. Okay, you beat Spurs, but Spurs are the only team shitter than us right now, and that was an absolute anomaly. So cool, we beat Spurs, but Atalanta and Manchester City were the real test, because Spurs are an anomaly team. Atalanta, we got a draw because of Ronaldo, but we're absolutely atrocious. Manchester City, we lost 2-0 because they took the foot off the gas and didn't want to pump us 5-0. He should be sacked. The Atalanta game was a sackable performance, the 2-2. The Manchester City game was a sackable performance. If he's been given 3 games to save his job and 2 of those games were sackable performances, why are they keeping with him? He obviously can't turn it around. We could get this one-off 3-0 victory versus Spurs, then it's back to shit again. Why is that? Why is that, Glazers? Because he's not going to turn it around. So the longer and longer you wait for him to turn it around, the longer and longer you're just letting this club destruct. And the less and less chance we have of winning anything, let alone getting top 4. There's no chance of Ole turning this around if the players don't believe in him, the coaches don't believe in him. And it's absolutely atrocious from the Glazers. And I would take Brendan Rodgers right now. I would. And look, I didn't want him originally, but, you know, Conte's gone. Okay, ideally Ten Hag would be my first choice. There's a lot more managers I'd like, but I would generally, right now, go out and take Brendan Rodgers, because that is the standard of this club. We've absolutely sunk. Yes, he's a yes man. Yes, he'll let the Glazers not give him much of a budget. And the Glazers will love Brendan Rodgers because they don't have to back Brendan Rodgers too much, but he'll take the bloody job because he'll want it. Do you know what I mean? Guys, please smash a like on the video if you haven't already. And if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do go down below and click that subscribe button. Every like, every sub, every share means a lot. I'm going to be live tomorrow night giving you all the latest on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future. So if you're not subscribed to the channel and you want daily United content and live streams, do subscribe, because I will be giving you all the latest on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future throughout the international break. I'll be giving the latest on Brendan Rodgers. If there's any developments on Brendan Rodgers to Manchester United, I'll be live to update you guys. Any news on Zidane, Ten Hag, Pochettino, I'll be live to update you guys. Any news on Ole being sacked, I'll be live to update you guys. When Ole is sacked, I'll be live to update you guys. So if you're not subscribed, do subscribe for content. Thought I would just throw that out there. But a lot of people hell know about Brendan Rodgers, and Scott says Brendan Rodgers becoming the next United boss is the managerial equivalent of 11 p.m. deadline day scrap to resign for Laney. Yeah, it is. It is. I do agree with you there, Andrew. It's not the best decision that Manchester United have ever made, but I'm at a point where I'm so low, I'd take it. I can't watch Ole. Ole's tactics are horrendous. The football we're playing is horrendous. There's a Manchester United fan that's been watching every Manchester United game since the 60s. And we were pretty crap in the 60s, by the way, guys. And even he said this is the worst football I've ever seen under Manchester United because there's no system, there's no philosophy. It's just vibes. Like, I know we're getting banter for it, but it is just vibes. Steve says Ten Hag will be wise. 100% agree. And West Ham beat Liverpool. Brighton could have had 3 or 4 against them. Brentford scored 3 and we lost 5-0. My God, we're the new Arsenal. Even they're doing better. Exactly. I think the fact that Arsenal are above us, despite losing their first 3 games of the season, should be a sackable offence. Even if we beat Manchester City, I would be saying that, he should be sacked off the Liverpool. The Liverpool 5-0 was a sackable offence. The performance versus Manchester City was a sackable offence. The performance versus Aston Villa was a sackable offence. The fact Arsenal's above us is a sackable offence. The fact that he's still playing the same players that are underperforming is a sackable offence. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have been sacked about 5 times in the last 2 months. But unfortunately, the people that run this club, the owners, the people high up in this club, have no knowledge, no ambition, and they won't act on it. And that is the embarrassing truth. And look, and I said this as well. We're looking at a rebuild next summer. This is the 1 year we have to win something. I don't want to be negative, but I feel like this is the 1 year we have to win something. And we don't look like we're going to win anything. We might not even get a top 4. This is the best score we've had in 10 years, and we're 6 points off top 4. We are 6th in the Premier League with Arsenal and West Ham above us. We are level on points with Brighton. We've conceded the most goals out of everybody in the top 10, and there's no positive signs of improving or sustainability. Manchester United have conceded more goals at home than Norwich City this season. No team in the league has conceded more goals at home than Manchester United this season. Is our defence, on paper, the worst defence in the league? No. So why statistically do we have the worst defence in the league? The tactics, the coaching, the fact that we'll still play a back 7 and look like we can concede 5 goals. We played a back 7 versus Manchester City and look like a side that will concede 5 goals. That's what I'm saying. We play a back 4 with McFred that sits so defensively negative, and we still look like a team that will concede 5 goals a game, and we still have the worst defensive record. We are playing the most negative, boring football in the league, and we still have the worst home defensive record in the league, worse than Norwich. Norwich's manager has been sacked. Norwich have picked up more points in the last 6 Premier League games than Manchester United have, and Norwich sacked their manager off a win. We have a worse home record than Norwich. We've picked up less points in the last 6 games than Norwich. Our manager's in worse form than Norwich manager, yet Norwich City have sacked their manager and we can't even sack ours. What an absolute disgrace. Only 6 points from second with a new manager, bounce potentially incoming. This is the thing. If we get a new manager in, it's not completely over. But right now, we are in absolute disgrace. Right now, Manchester United is in absolute disgrace. We are 6 points off the top 4. We are basically a mid-table club right now. We are turning into the new Arsenal, and we need to get rid of our manager. We need to get rid of our owners. We need to get rid of those coaches. We have good players. We have players that could win a title, but we're playing poor. And I've absolutely had enough. And look, I want Erik ten Hag to come in right now. If he comes in right now, nice, great, because we can still bounce back from this. It's bounce back FC as they call us, because that's what the players play. But we are in a position where we can actually still bounce back from this. But unfortunately, as every day match goes on, it's less and less like we can. Louis van Gaal and Mourinho were sacked for less. Louis van Gaal and Mourinho were sacked when they picked up more points in their last 6 games than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and had won a trophy and had received less backing. Ole was backed in the summer, has less points than Mourinho and Van Gaal at this stage on the season that they were sacked, has not won a trophy for Manchester United, and has a better squad than Mourinho and Van Gaal had, and is not getting sacked. If this was any other manager, they'd be sacked. But Gary Neville comes out with crap like, what's sacking him going to do? What's sacking him going to change? Give him time. He's had 3 years, Gary Neville, and he hasn't won anything. With Manchester United, we shouldn't be going 3 years without a trophy. That's absolutely disgraceful. We've gone nearly 5 years without a trophy, and we're going to let this mediocrity continue because we are becoming the new Arsenal. We are absolutely becoming the new Arsenal, and I've absolutely had enough. It's not good enough. We are in the international break. There's no better time to sack a manager than in the international break. And look, right now we're going for Rodgers. Then we're trying to get Pop. Just get someone that wants to come in till the end of the season. Manchester United keep talking about the long-term project. Ronaldo's 36, Cavani's 34. Forget the long-term project. Just do what Chelsea did with Tuchel. Get a manager in, give them a contract to the end of the season, see how they do. And then in the summer, you can look at Ten Hag, you can look at Pochettino, you can look at Brendan Rodgers, whoever the frick you want, and you can get them in. Just get this Ralph Rangnick guy in. Just go and say to Ralph Rangnick, look, we're giving you a contract to the end of the season. Look, if you win a Champions League or you get us right back in that title race, cool. We might give you a long-term contract if we can't get Ten Hag. But get someone like Rangnick in, because I guarantee you he'll do a better job than Ollie. If he does a brilliant job, extend his contract, because that's what Chelsea did with Tuchel. They gave Tuchel a short-term contract. He won the Champions League. He's now got a long-term one. Get Rangnick in, and if it's bang average, but he does a bit better than Ollie, but it's not good enough, just say, look, thanks for what you did, Rangnick, but we're going to get Ten Hag in now. If Rangnick gets us in the top four, and it's an improvement on Ollie, cool. You know, then you get Ten Hag in the summer. If he does brilliant and wins us the Champions League, cool, reward him. But anyone right now is better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I cannot physically sit here and watch another performance like that versus Manchester City, because it literally, I generally felt this when I was watching us playing like Manchester City. I felt like I was watching someone die and I couldn't do anything to go and help them. Do you know what I mean? That's how I felt, because we were absolutely embarrassed, and I've absolutely had enough. Smash a like on the video, by the way, guys, if you're Ollie out. If you've had enough of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if you've had enough of the Glazers, if you want Ollie sacked, if you've had enough of these tactics, go smash a like on the video. And please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Up if you're not subscribed to the channel. By the way, guys, I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. I go live every day. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ten Hag, Zinedine Zidane, and Brendan Rodgers and Mauricio Pochettino to Manchester United, make sure you're subscribed. I will be live tomorrow night, because this time tomorrow, I think we'll have a good idea whether Ollie's going to be sacked in the next 2 weeks or not, and I will be live to update you. When Ollie's sacked, I'll be live to update you. If it looks like we're going to get a new manager in, I'll be live to update you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed as well. Zidane or Ralph? Obviously Zidane. Let's get 400 likes to keep smashing the like button. Ollie out, Zidane in. The problem with Zinedine Zidane, as DJ Chow said, is that Zidane apparently doesn't want the Premier League. He doesn't want Manchester United. He'll only come out of retirement if he can get the France job. He's not keen to managing in England. And to be fair, look, probably who wants to manage in the England weather? Do you know what I mean? Look, we have the players for Zidane. Pogba, you know, Varane, Ronaldo, all love Zidane, Martial. We have the players cool for Zidane, but do we have, you know, Zidane doesn't want us, and that leaves us with Brendan Rodgers, who says he will come at the end of the season, Ten Hag will come at the end of the season, or waiting for Mauricio Pochettino to be sacked. So our best option is, if Ralph Rangnick wants to come to Manchester United and is a better manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, why don't you just say to Ralph Rangnick, you can come as an interim manager till the end of the season till we get the manager we want. Now, I don't want us getting Ralph Rangnick in, and because he gets us top four, rewarding him a contract, I want him to come into the end of the season, and I want us to act like a serious club, because we have not acted like a serious club since the Glazers have come in. We have not acted like a serious club in over a decade now. I want us to act like a serious club, sack the manager, get a temporary manager into the end of the season that's going to improve things, and then go in the summer, go out and get Ten Hag, go out and get CDM, go out and back the manager. And unfortunately, that's not what we're going to do, because we're run by imbeciles. The fact that our owners can sit there and not sack a manager after watching what they've just watched, okay, shows that they obviously don't watch football. You can tell our owners, the board, Woodward, Arnold, do not watch football, do not have football knowledge, because anyone that watches football and has football knowledge will be sacking the manager off the most recent performance. Luke Shaw is injured. Varane is injured. Paul Pogba is suspended. Ollie keeps playing the same players, so no wonder the players that keep playing are getting injured. You know, it's absolutely going downhill. We've lost, you know, only Villa have lost more games than Manchester United in the last 2 months, and they sacked their manager. Norwich City have been in better form than Manchester United. They've lost less games than Manchester United in the last 2 months. Norwich have sacked their manager. Norwich City have been in better form than Manchester United in the last 2 months. In the last 2 months, Norwich City have picked up more Premier League points than Manchester United, yet they're sacking their manager, because Norwich City have more ambition than us, which is an absolute bloody disgrace. And if the fact that Norwich have got more points than us the last 5 games and they sack their manager, surely you're not embarrassed. This is my message to the board. Woodward, Arnold, the Glazers, are you not embarrassed by this? Are you not embarrassed? People aren't going to laugh at you for sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even though it might affect Woodward's ego and not a failure of a manager. Woodward, people aren't going to laugh at you for sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Rival fans, Leeds, Man City, Liverpool are singing Ollie at the wheel. Rival fans are singing Ollie at the wheel. People are laughing at you for keeping this manager. We're a laughing stock. We are Banter FC for the fact that we've kept this manager. After the 5-0 to Liverpool, everyone was laughing at us. They couldn't believe he got given another 3 games. And in the other 3 games he's given, Atalanta and Manchester City were absolutely abysmal, both sackable performances. And it's been 24 hours since that result, and he's still here with no reliable sources saying he's coming close to the sack and saying we'll give him more time, we'll give him the Watford thing. He's had 3 years. Everyone is laughing at us. Our rival fans are singing Ollie at the wheel, but you won't change a thing. And it's an absolute disgrace. I'm at the point where we might well be in a relegation battle and have to get Big Sam in, as Brain Sample said. I really don't know what to do with this team, guys. I mean, it's not even the team. It's not the players' fault. It is, and it's not. I'm not even saying it's Ollie's fault at this rate. It's the people who are higher up than Ollie for actually giving him this job in the first place, giving him this long and not sacking him after Liverpool's fault. You know, Ollie isn't the biggest problem. It's the board. It's the Glazers, and that is the situation. My prediction is Ollie will be here till Chelsea too late. Chelsea are going to absolutely batter us. You know, I feel like Manchester City could have beaten us 5-0 and then Pep says, oh, we don't want him sacked, so just beat them 2-0. And that's why they just played it around and kept possession. That's what I generally felt. Smash a like, by the way, guys, if you are Ollie out. Let's go for 400 likes on today's video. So if you're Ollie out and you want Ollie sacked, go ahead and smash that like button. Anyone's Ollie out, smash that like button. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. I'm going to be live tomorrow. This time tomorrow, we'll have an idea if the board are going to sack Ollie or not. So if you want to know if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get sacked or not in the international, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to know the latest on Ten Hag, Zidane, Pochettino, Brendan Rodgers, all of the managers we've been linked with, Ralph Ragnick, make sure you subscribe because there will be a big update tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be the day. It's Monday. Tomorrow will be the day where we get news of is Ollie going to be sacked? Is we going to get a new manager? And I think we'll have an idea of tomorrow what's going to be happening over the international break. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed so you do stay up to date on all the news. And I do watch longs, match reactions, match previews as well when football's back on. But this international break is all about Ollie, getting Ollie out. So do subscribe. But look, Ollie should have been sacked 2 weeks ago. Ollie should be sacked now. Give it to Giggsy to the end of the season, and no thank you. And oh my God, he'll get a chance till Chelsea. I'm dead. Chelsea fans are singing Ollie at the wheel because they want Ollie to be manager when they play us. They want Ollie to be Manchester United manager when they play us. And the fact that all our rivals are singing Ollie's at the wheel is an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. You know, I mean, they're just laughing at us. They're laughing at, you know, how naive and incompetent our owners are. Our rivals are laughing at our owners, and our owners don't realise that they're laughing at us. The Athletic say there's no indication that Zidane wants to position himself for the Manchester United job. He's not interested in the Premier League. Ten Hag obviously would be ideally my first choice replacement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ten Hag has scored 51 goals this season, which is 24 more than United, including 14 in the Champions League, and schooled Dortmund back-to-back. You know, Erik Ten Hag would be absolutely incredible. Harry Maguire was sitting out clubbing after the loss yesterday, but obviously because he's English, they're not going to report it. You know, if Martial's sitting out clubbing, if Paul Pogba's sitting out clubbing, everyone will be going in on them. But because Harry Maguire's gone out clubbing, the media ain't going to go in on it saying after the loss because he's English. But I think it needs to be Ralph Ragnick for the rest of the season to take then before taking the role upstairs, and then we'll get Erik Ten Hag in the summer. I think that's what we need to do. But yeah, the source on my screen, by the way, guys, is from someone called Rudy. He's not the most reliable source. He could be just saying this for clicks. But I'm so low. I'm so low as a Manchester United fan that I will literally listen to the most unreliable source that has anything to do with a new manager or Ollie coming out. Even though it's not the most reliable source, I'm listening to unreliable sources because any news about Ollie going, it's it's a boost. And there are a few little reports saying that Brendan Rodgers has verbally agreed to join Manchester United. I'm going to get through live chats in just a second, but make sure you smash your like on the video if you're not subscribed. And Zidane is available, should go for it and sit to discuss terms with Zidane's coming. Zidane doesn't want us. Zidane is available, but Zidane does not want us. That is what I'm being told. If Rooney comes in, the club is finished. Imagine if we sack Ollie and we get a Rooney in. Like, let's get over this club legend. Let's get an elite manager in. Ollie is the true Ollie. Well, I don't know what that means, and I don't want Rodgers at all. That's the most underwhelming appointment ever. I agree, it's an underwhelming appointment, but it's just an improvement on Ollie, and I'm taking anything in this rate. And Ten Hag would give Donny his rightful spot in the Manchester United starting 11 exactly. And we need Erik Ten Hag, Rodgers 8-winning Jack, and Ralph as interim manager and an end of the season director of football. Exactly, we're going to give Richard Arnold director of football, and Manchester United, Arsenal 5th, Manchester United 6th, West Ham 3rd. Absolutely embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing, that, isn't it? Absolutely embarrassing. How about Luis Enrique? Look, I would take him. I mean, I'd take anyone over Ollie. I'd take a snail, as I said. And you know, if City and Chelsea needed a gaffer mid-season, they could get Ten Hag right now. Our board is just a laughing stock. This is the thing, you know, there's reports saying Ten Hag will take the job at the end of the season. I reckon if we threw some money at it, we could get Ten Hag now. I reckon if we threw some money at it and said, we'll back you, we'll give you January, you're the man, we want you, we could get Ten Hag right now. But our owners aren't willing to throw any money at it. Our owners aren't willing to spend any money, throw any money at it. Do you know why? Because they don't want to spend money. And that's why we're not going for Ten Hag. West Ham, absolutely thriving. Have they got better players than us? No. But they've got better coaches. Our owners need to go and sack those coaches along with Gunnar and Solskjaer. Because why are West Ham playing better football than us and absolutely brilliant? Because they've got better coaches, they've got a better manager. We don't need just a new manager, we need new coaches, but most importantly, as I said earlier in the video, we need a new board. Because if our board is watching that game versus Manchester City and still keeping him as manager, we're never going to succeed anything as a football club. Because anyone that knows anything about football that watched that game knows that that performance was disgraceful. It was practically a 5-0 performance. 2-0 was a nice scoreline for us. We got completely outplayed. That's a sackable performance. The fact that he hasn't been sacked after 5-0 Liverpool and he hasn't been sacked after that, it's just absolutely embarrassing. I think it's absolutely embarrassing. I would be embarrassed to be in the Manchester United board knowing that we've kept this guy after constant mediocrity. It's an absolute disgrace in my opinion. Smash a like on the video if you have not already, and please do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you have not already. Alice, 3 clubs have sacked the manager. Yeah, Newcastle sacked their manager. Villa sacked their manager. Norwich sacked their manager. They're in a relegation battle. 2 of those clubs have had better form than Man United in the last 6 games, and they're sacking their manager. Just waiting for Fabrizio Romano for more updates on Solskjaer. Fabrizio Romano did say Ole's job is definitely not safe. We do know that, but I don't think any news is going to come out regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer until tomorrow. I think, you know, if he's going to be sacked, the news is going to be coming out tomorrow. If Ole isn't sacked in the next 24 hours, then Woodward and Arnold do need to resign. So do Fletcher and Murta. You know, that's how I feel about it. I think it's absolutely embarrassing that our board haven't sacked them. It just shows, you know, Ragnick assists Ten Hag as manager. I mean, we need a whole new coaching team as well as manager. And as Diego says, please subscribe to Alice Talks Football on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you are watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do remember to go down below and subscribe to Alice Talks Football. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. I'm going to be live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I'm going to be giving you all the latest on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets sacked tomorrow, I'll be live straight away as soon as I find out he's been sacked to update you guys. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get sacked in the international break, and it looks like he's going to be sacked in the international break, I'll be live to update you guys. If any updates happen with Ten Hag, Pochettino, Zidane, Brendan Rodgers, I'll be live to update you guys. So if you are watching right now, we've got over 400 people watching and you're not subscribed, please do click that subscribe button, because it's a Manchester United fan channel. I do daily Manchester United news and updates pretty much every day. So if you want to stay up to date and you want to interact with me, make sure you subscribe as well. Ole must go. Not sure about Brendano, and no more ex-player manager, please. Look, we don't want ex-managers here. Liverpool lose. Let's actually have a look. Let's have a look at the Premier League, guys. Let's have a look at the Premier League. Here we go. Table. Oh, where are we? Oh, 5 points off top 4. 5 points off top 4 we are, guys. 5 points. 5 points. Do you know what's funny? If Arsenal beat Liverpool, they'll go above them. That's actually jokes. 5 points off top 4 after 11 games. If you actually look at the squad we have, let me be real with you guys. If you actually look at the squad you had and you said we'd be 5 points off the Premier League title after 11 games, we'd be a bit annoyed. We would be a bit annoyed. If you said that after we signed Ronaldo, after 11 games, we'd be 5 points off a title, we'd be a bit annoyed, saying, what, November, already 5 points off a title? We're not even 5 points off a title. We're 5 points off 4th spot. You know, 5 points off a title with this team we have meant to be in a title race isn't great, because we want to be in a title race for as long as we can. We're already out the title race in October, but 5 points off top 4 in November, or already looking like we need to. We're going to be in a race for 4th in November. That's sackable in itself. I just can't believe that. Absolutely can't believe it. I mean, look, we've got. Let's have a look at who we got next. So if we go to Manchester United, wait a sec, guys. Do Manchester United, look, if you search Manchester United here, matches, again, okay, Watford, we might get a win. Ole gets a win so we can stay in this job. Villarreal absolutely outclassed us. We're away to them. Ole can't do anything against them. Unai Emery's a better manager than Ole. You know, we have to beat Villarreal to go through. If we lose that game, We are going into young boys having to win to go through in our group. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Villarreal, okay? Chelsea, they're going to batter us. Look at the way Arsenal are playing. They're going to batter us. Crystal Palace are playing great. Cool, we've got Watford. Chelsea are playing great. Arsenal are playing great. Crystal Palace are playing absolutely incredible and beating Manchester City. That could be 3 losses in a row if Ollie stays as manager. 3 Premier League losses in a row if Ollie stays as manager. Then you go into young boys knowing that we have to win that game to get our group. With that form, pressure on. Pressure absolutely on. Then you got Norwich. No one else will give Norwich a win. Then you got Brentford. No one else will probably give Brentford a win. Brighton will probably outplay us. Then you got Newcastle, and hopefully we'll go beat Newcastle. But that's the next game you think, oh, we might win. Burnley, they always give us a tough game. Wolves, they always give us a tough game. Villa will get a new manager in and probably outplay us. West Ham will beat us. It's not looking good from a Man United perspective. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's just depressing, and I just think the manager seriously has to go. Look, he's done a good job the last 2 seasons, but this season has been the worst ever. It's been the worst ever. And I don't know if it's been the worst ever because we got our expectations up because we have a squad that we should be doing much better. But the football I'm seeing is the worst football I've seen in a long time. For me, that's why it's the worst ever, because of the football we're playing. And if you agree with me, make sure you smash a like and do subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel as well. I'm gonna end the live stream in the next 5 minutes. So any comments, any thoughts, any of that, get that down below. Big up Paul, lose a Paul in. Like, we're not even in a position to banter Liverpool, but let's just banter Liverpool and all of that. And Rodgers had a worse record as manager for Liverpool than Solskjaer at United. But look at the squad Rodgers had and look at the squad Ollie had. Like, Rodgers had a shit squad. And let's all take a moment to laugh at Liverpool. Yeah, that makes me feel a bit better. And top 4 is in jeopardy. That is usually the Glazers' time to move. Best we could do is 4th. And if Ollie stays, we won't even get near that. Exactly. I mean, Andrew's talking facts here. It's Watford, and then we've got Chelsea, Arsenal, and Palace that are all playing great. And all players off the park if Ollie stays. Ollie needs to go. City, Atalanta, Liverpool have caused us enough damage. Chelsea, Arsenal, Palace are just going to cause us even more damage. Ollie needs to go before Arsenal, because I won't be able to go on Twitter if we lose to Arsenal. The fact that Arsenal are above us is sackable. There was a rumour about Mancini coming to Manchester United, about Roberto Mancini coming to Manchester United. But again, I think a lot of less well-known journalists are coming out with things like Brendan Rodgers, Mancini, to try and get clicks, to try and get interactions. I think that's what's going on, to be fair. I think that's what's going on. Thank you, Brent, for the super sticker there. And Zidane in, big up West Ham, though. They're playing absolutely incredible. And as a United fan, I just watch it and I go, man. So we are 10 points behind the Premier League title, guys. But before I end my live stream, I want to say that we are 10 points behind the Premier League title. It's not over, because if we beat Chelsea in 2 games' time, we're 7 points behind. That is a doable gap. That is a doable gap. Now, if you get a new elite world-class manager in, it's still possible. Unlikely, but still possible. But if we stay with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we're going to be looking like a team that might not get top 4. If you get a new manager in, there's still chances of the title. Unlikely, but still chances. And I'm going to throw that out now. We are 5 points off top 4. We are 9 points off a title. We're still in our We're still in our Champions League group quite comfortably. If you get a new manager in, we could possibly win a Champions League or a Premier League. I'm not believing it's going to happen. But with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's never going to happen. And the longer we wait, the less of a chance it is of happening. But if you get a new manager in, there's a chance. So please do smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Go subscribe down below to Alice Talks if you're not subscribed to the channel. But let me know down below, Ole in or Ole out. And I guarantee you, everyone that supports Man United is Ole out. Everyone that doesn't support Man United is probably Ole in. But if you are Ole out, smash a like on the video, by the way, guys. Let's go for 400, 500 likes. And before I end the live stream, please do go and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. A lot of people big upping Ten Hag, people wanting Zidane, and we love Alice and Man United. Thanks for the comment. Ole out, Ole out. And yeah, I mean, look, everybody, make sure you smash a like on the video. I'm going to be live tomorrow, okay? And tomorrow we'll have an idea of whether Ollie's going to be sacked in the break or not. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future, make sure you subscribe. If you want to know if Ollie's going to be sacked or not, make sure you subscribe. I'll let you know tomorrow if any news comes out about him being sacked or if it looks like he's going to stay. Make sure you subscribe. If you want Ollie out, hit a like. Any updates on Conte, Brendan Rodgers, Zidane? I don't know why I'm saying Conte, just out of habit. Pochettino, I'll be live tomorrow to update you on the latest on Brendan Rodgers, Zidane, Pochettino and all of that. So make sure you subscribe for that, because I'm going to be giving you updates on all the managers we're linked to, and I'm also going to be giving you an update on the latest on OLE out as well. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed. Sorry if I didn't get through many live chats today. I just wanted to talk and talk and talk. So if I didn't read out any of your live chats and you have any questions for me, all I can say is make sure you subscribe with post notifications on, and I will try and read out some live chats in my next video. So if you had a question for me that I didn't answer, or something you put in a live chat that I didn't answer, if you subscribe with post notifications on, I can try and answer that comment in my next video. So like, subscribe, share. Thanks everybody in the live chat. Ollie out, Ollie out, Ollie out. Wouldn't take anyhow personally, but yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye.